This video is sponsored by Casetify. Alright guys, so today we're taking a look at some cases from a brand that's known for their designs and their protection. And of course, we are taking a look at the Casetify series of cases for the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Now the prices range from $64 to $78, but you can go to casetify.com/BriansTech and get 15% off of your entire purchase. And of course, that link is the first link down in the description below for you guys to check out for yourself. So right here, we do have the Impact series, the Impact Ringstand series, and the Bounce Case series. Now, let's start off with the Impact series. So this one's gonna be $64. Of course, you can get it clear, just completely clear. You can get it customized like I have here. It says my name, says Brian right there. And they have a million different designs that you can choose from, of course, from Casetify. Now, this one's gonna be 4x military standard 810G tested. So that means you get 2.5 meters or 8.2 feet of drop protection. Now, the back of this case is going to be polycarbonate. This printing here is etched on. Of course, we see our MagSafe and alignment magnets there. And we get this raised up polycarbonate camera plateau ring. So that way you get a little bit more protection for your camera plateau. And of course, it does say Casetify, their classic logo on the corners of the camera ring. Then moving along to the inside, same polycarbonate material, MagSafe alignment magnet. And on the inside, you're getting this TPU material with Casetify's EcoShock material for extra shock absorption, which is what those ridges are right there on the inside of the case. And of course, they do go all the way around the inside of the case. Now, Casetify also does have that camera control button right there, and we will be testing that as well. Next, let's move on to the Impact Ringstand case. So this one's gonna be $78. This one is 3x military standard 810G tested, which means you're gonna get 2 meters or 6.6 feet of drop protection. Now, you're also going to get a metal camera ring here that's also a kickstand, and it does magnetize right in, so if you do move it around, it's not going to go and flapping around or anything like that, but you're going to get more camera plateau protection from this case as well. Now, going on the inside, very similar to the Impact case here, you're getting polycarbonate MagSafe alignment magnets and the same TPU material going here, as well as that EcoShock material and camera control button right there. And same thing, that EcoShock material does go all the way around. Now, finally, let's move on to the Bounce case. So this one is going to be their most protective case out of all of three of these. So this one's $74. It's going to be 7x military standard 810G tested, which is giving you drop protection of 6.5 meters or 21.3 feet of drop protection. Now, all of these cases also feature Casetify's Duo Lock technology. So that's going to allow the back of the case as well as the sides to be fused together. So you're not going to get it breaking ever. It's not going to come apart. You're not going to get any weird seams or any sharp edges on any of these cases the way that they are fused together. Now, going on the inside, polycarbonate material here, MagSafe alignment magnet, and the inside, this one is TPU as well as the outside, but this one's gonna feature Casetify's Test Lock. Now, this one's a little bit different because it's going to offer you a lot more drop protection, but of course, you still do get that camera control button. And the difference, obviously, here is you do get these multifunctional bounce corners. So it's gonna allow you to attach like keychains or a crossbody strap to any one or two of these corners, but also to give you that insane protection if you do drop it on any of the corners. If you drop it every which way, you're going to get that raised corner protection, just like you do get those little bit of raised corners on the back here as well. Now let's go ahead and bring over our scale and our caliper. We'll weigh all of them. You guys know the drill, right? So let's bring over the scale first, and let's go ahead and start off with the Impact series. So we'll put that on the scale. We're looking at 53 grams on this one. Impact Ringstand series, we are looking at 62 grams. And then the Bounce case, we are looking at 58 grams. Now, of course, this one's going to be the heaviest because of the metal ring stand here. So that's definitely something to note, depending on which case you end up wanting to pick up. And then let's go ahead and bring over the caliper. So we'll start off with the Impact series. Front to back, we're looking at 13 millimeters. With the plateau, we're looking at 14.7, and inside to outside 3.1. Then bringing over the Impact Ringstand, front to back, also 13 millimeters. Now with that camera plateau, we got to extend this a little more. You're looking at 19 millimeters, and I will show you guys how much protection you get with that camera plateau there. And inside to outside 3.6 millimeters. And finally, bringing over the Bounce case, from front to back, we get 13.3. with the camera plateau 14.8 and inside to outside 3.7 millimeters. So all of these cases are going to be a little bit on the heavier side compared to certain other cases, but you're getting that really good protection that Casetify is known for. Let me give you a little personal example. So my wife is an avid Casetify user. You guys saw in my Casetify video last year. That's completely true. There's nothing about that, even though this is a sponsored video, I know. But my wife every year always gets one case, and that's going to be a Casetify case. And actually, I have her case right here from the iPhone 16 Pro Max. So she's a huge Disney fan, so of course she got the Winnie the Pooh case. This was her case from release day on iPhone 16 Pro Max release day to release day on iPhone 17 release day. So one whole year, this was her case. And it has withheld itself very, very well. It's the only reason I actually kept this case here, because even with the sides, and remember this, they didn't have the camera control button there, so we got some upgrades here. But even there with the sides, the way that it looks, I'm not kidding. She's got some damage right here on this one, all that, a little bit on this corner. She's very rough on her phones. Let me just take a look around. Some damage right there. A little bit over here. The back, though, the print hasn't lasted very well. Looks like a brand new case from this angle. But as you guys can see, this case has taken a little bit of her beating, and her phone was perfect when she took it out of this case when it came time for me to sell it in order for me to get her the iPhone 17 series. And that just goes to show that these cases actually do protect your phone. I'm someone, you guys know me, I'm an accessory channel. I have a ton of cases here in my studio, and a lot of them are protective, some are not protective. One thing I know about Casetify, I'm not someone who uses a lot of Casetify cases every day because I do switch cases all the time. I don't use any single case every day. I'm always using something new. But I know that anytime I can put on a Casetify case and my phone will always be protected from a lot of drops, especially when you're coming to something like the bounce case. But this isn't for everybody with this look, you know? So you can bring out something as minimal as the Impact Series case, which this is what this is. An Impact Series case. It's nice, minimal. It looks very classy when it comes to, especially like if you just get an all black one or a clear one or whatever design you like, and it'll be just fine. You know, you can rest assured your phone will be protected. But for right now, let's bring over that iPhone 17 Pro Max in that cosmic orange, and let's take a look at all these cases. So starting off with the click. Very good click onto there. Taking a look at the fit, you're getting a pretty good fit going all the way around. This TPU material does take a little bit of force in order to move. Around your buttons, it is going to be a little bit more loose, same with the camera control, but that's expected oftentimes. Bottom and top are pretty good. They could be a little bit more stiff, but you shouldn't have any issues of this case. Definitely is not going to come out of the case. Your phone won't come out of the case if you were to drop this. So let's take a look at those corners. 1, good. 2, 3, and 4. Good click on all 4 corners, really nothing to complain about when it comes to that. You do have to give it a little bit of pressure in order for that to come out. These won't just come off with the little touch of the finger. Everything will be fine there. And then let's just take a look at that camera and screen protection. Wipe this down real quick. I am using a full coverage tempered glass screen protector, and you're still getting a slight screen lip there. So you can set this down on most surfaces and you'll be fine. I would be careful a little bit on the more jagged surfaces, but you should be good to go with that. And then with your camera protection, you do get some protection right there, so you can set this down and you should be fine again on most surfaces, but just be careful on any of the really jagged surfaces. Now let's go ahead and bring over the Impact Ringstand series real quick, and I'll show you guys all of that right there as well. So we'll set this one off to the side for right now, and listening out to that click. Good, solid click on there. Same fit on this one, buttons, camera control button, bottom, top. Let's listen to those corners. 1, good. 2, 3, and 4. Again, same fit as on the Impact series. Everything is just fine with this. Should protect your phone with no problems. Let's give this a little bit of a wipe down here and take a look at that camera and screen protection. Same screen lip right there. You should be good to go on most of your surfaces. But when it comes to that camera plateau, I mean, look at that. That is some serious camera plateau protection. And you can set this on whatever surface you want and you'll be just fine, because this camera ring is insane, this protection. I mean, just look at that. But let's talk about this kickstand real quick. So like I said, it does magnetize on there and it works really well. You really have no complaints. So you can sit here and watch whatever videos you want, go on YouTube, watch your favorite Brian's Tech video. You can lay this all the way flat basically, and you can even stand it up vertically. Now, if you do use it like this, it may end up tipping over, but you can do that. You can stand it vertically like that if you want to, in a lot of different angles. Use it this way or use it this way, and you will be just fine in pretty much whatever angle you want to use it. So that is going to be the Impact Ringstand case right there. And last but not least, let's bring over the bounce case. Now, I actually do have two of these. I have one that's just a solid black one and one with this cool little design on there, but they are the same exact case going all the way around. Like I said, you do get a million different designs that you can choose from on Casetify's website, so you can either choose this one or any of those other ones. So let's actually start with this one. We'll go ahead and put our phone in here, listen out for that click. Solid click onto there. Same TPU material for the most part going all the way around. Your buttons, camera control, bottom, top, but these corners are something vicious. Let's see those. 1, good. 2, 3, and 4. Not for nothing, this is the most protective case on this entire list, and that goes to show. If you guys heard how those corners sound and how they fit, that's one of those things. I mean, this is going to be the case that you can take on wherever you go. And you can rest assured that no matter which way you drop this case, your phone will be 100% protected. So taking a look at that camera and screen lip right there. Same camera plateau bump right there as the Impact series. So you can set that down. But again, on here, you do get those raised up corners, if you guys can see that. So you're going to get a little more protection actually on this case than either of these two. Goes to show again. And then for your screen, you are definitely getting a little bit better of a screen lip here. So you can set this down on just about any surface and you will be good to go. And just to show you guys how it looks like, because, you know, I'm a sucker for that black and orange. If you guys saw my channel, you know exactly how many cases I have that are black. But that's what we're looking like right there with the black and orange. So back on that Impact series right now, let's go ahead and go around the sides. Starting off with the top, we are completely closed in. On the left-hand side, you do get your action button, volume up and down, and the rest is closed in. These are built-in buttons with relief cutouts, and that's going to be the same thing between all of these cases. All the cases are going to have just about the same buttons when it comes to the entire case between the camera control, action button, volume up and down. So there's really no need to test all of those buttons. But let's listen to how these sound. Still nice clicky buttons, even though they are built-in TPU buttons. No complaints when it comes to the click, and they do protrude out a tiny bit, so you can use those, kind of feel them around in your pocket. On the bottom, you do get your accurate microphone and speaker cutouts, as well as your USB Type-C port, which is nice and wide. So let's go ahead and bring over a cable here real quick. We'll actually test that, make sure it works. There we go, charging. And you've got ample amount of room for all of your USB Type-C cables. And that's going to be the same way, again, with all of these cases. Let me go ahead and just line them up here. Same cutouts, same USB Type-C port. Everything, like I said, is going to be exactly the same with all of these. And then going on around the right-hand side, we got our camera control button, our power button, and you do get a lanyard loop here. Now, let's go ahead and test out one of the main features, which is going to be the camera control button, because you guys know how our channel goes. If there's no camera control, I'm not talking about it. At this point, I'm sick of it. So, good camera control button. Last year, Casetify didn't really have it, but this year they came out with a good one, and it works really well, guys. Let's go ahead and take our usual picture there. Boom, here we go. Everything is working just fine, and it's going to be the same camera control button on all of these cases right here. So, everything is exactly the same. The only difference is with the bounce case as opposed to the other ones is that you can attach lanyards to the other corners, whereas on these cases you cannot. Now let's go ahead and test that MagSafe. So starting off, we will bring over Casetify's actual MagSafe wallet. So this is gonna be their snappy BioVeg MagSafe wallet. It's 38 bucks and it fits about 1 to 2 cards. So we'll attach that. You're not gonna get an animation, of course, because it's not an Apple product, but good MagSafe. Really nothing to complain about with this one. Set that off to the side. We'll bring over our Apple MagSafe battery pack. You are going to get your animation there, and it is charging. And one thing about Casetify, guys, that MagSafe is... Oh, gosh, what do we do? That MagSafe is legit. So, finally bringing over our MagSafe stand here. We'll attach that. You got to give it a little bit of a shake, but it'll hold it. There you go. So let's actually go ahead and bring over the Impact stand. I'm not going to test all of the MagSafe devices on all of the cases, but I'm just going to show you guys with the MagSafe phone charger stand that I have here. That way you guys can see exactly what it's looking like. So we'll attach that, and same MagSafe, guys. All these cases are going to work just fine when it comes to your nightstand chargers, your car mounts. All your MagSafe accessories will be just fine between all of these cases. And last but not least, I actually want to bring over the all black bounce case just to show you guys what the MagSafe is going to be like on this one. And because this is the only one that's not completely clear, we will test all of these. So bringing over Casetify's wallet again, attach that, and good to go. You do have to, gosh, gotta give it a good bit of force there. Apple MagSafe battery pack, animation, everything is going to work just fine. Go ahead, shake, 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 shake. Everything is good there. And then our charging base here, bring that up, give that a little bit of a shake, and again, you'll be just fine. All your car mounts, all your accessories, everything will work on all of these cases. So there we have it, guys. That has been the Casetify case lineup that I have for the iPhone 17 Pro Max. We had the Impact series, the Impact Ringstand series, and the Bounce case. So let me know what you guys think about the Casetify case lineup down in the comments below. In my opinion, my favorite one is going to be the Impact stand because it's a little bit more minimal, but you can get all the different designs and still all that really good protection. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel. That goes a really long way for me and allows me to make all different kinds of videos for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.